Hi, I'm Francois from Production Music Live. Today with Producer Notes, and I've created something new. I made this song starter, song ideas MIDI pack here. More than 100 MIDIs to start songs around with nice chord progressions, nice melodic themes, nice ideas from, different types of genres, different types of categories that I was working on in the last couple of years and months. And it's divided into two kinds of elements. It's plug-based elements and it's theme-based elements, and that goes 50-50 for the pack. So what does that mean, plug-based? I have 3 plugs here. Basically plug-based, for the majority of the MIDI, you have more than one MIDI note playing at a time. So it's always a bit of a chord already going there. And with the theme-based ones, it's more like a melody. It can be an arpeggio, but it's still going through bass notes, so you have a good idea what to play in the bass note. But it acts more like a melody, a melodic type of element. And again, the plug-based ones will be more looking like this, like a plug sound. And they will have these sort of references to a melody here, but not necessarily playing an entire melody. So you still have a lot of room to play melodies on top of that, or change stuff and make it your own. And that's actually a good point. Let's take a look at how you would sort of get started with something like this. You would pick one of these MIDIs, like this is a copy here in my Ableton session view. And I would sort of go ahead and pick a MIDI, let's say Da Fuzz. Okay, and I copy that over into the arrangement view, let's say, and put it here. Also combine it with a kick. This one from Organica 5, just out now from Yannick Mounts, with 100 diva presets and more than 700 samples, loops, all kinds of organic loops, also nice for Afro House. So I'm using this, and I'm actually, I can drag over a top loop from that pack, so we can already get something going here. So the idea of this whole thing is to get you started, get inspired quickly, and then make it your own. Listen in. And I kind of like these patterns that are a bit more fluffy and a bit less conventional, starting with early here, also starting early here. And what are we playing it with? By the way, we are using REPRO here from Yuhi. That's the emulation of the Prophet. Nice and warm patch. Freeze the screen if you want to copy it. Here are the effects, and it's a preset from Tim Engelhardt's REPRO pack on Production Music Live, and the preset itself is called pluck-driven. Super nice one. Sounds super clean up here as well. And so vibey down here, one of my favorite patches. Anyways, so this would be the foundation of your track, and now you could, write melodies around it, introduce pad sounds and maybe sing vocals on top, or you could be like, hey, I like the pattern, but I want to play a different chord progression on it. So you could adjust that to your needs with the one that you had in mind, but maybe using this pattern here. So that's how I usually use these kinds of things. I have, a chord progression in mind, but I don't feel like I have an interesting pattern. So I go through my own MIDI ideas that I've accumulated over the years and just drag something in, and then take a look at the progression and see if I can sort of make this progression work in that pattern. That's how I usually, kind of try to work. Yeah, this one sounds trancey as well. I made a lot of trance back in the day, so you might notice that here and there. But there's also housey stuff, no worries. And there's also dreamy stuff. But also groovy stuff. Like this one. And also sort of stuttery stuff. And actually there's a nice technique to, you know, start with a drum loop and then put together patterns like this one. I'll probably show that in another video, which is kind of beyond the scope of this one. This one is just to showcase and give you an idea how you can start using these types of MIDIs to your advantage. Also, sometimes it helps you to find a totally different groove here with triplets. Let's turn off the drum loop. Because you need a more triplet based drum groove if you want to play this along. And so a lot of different things here to try out. Also some shuffly stuff maybe. That feels a bit faster. Maybe a longer one. Again, you can take these ideas and make them your own and try to sort of adjust them to your own musical needs. Okay, let's have another one here. Okay, so you could still go and make this your own by, you don't know, putting in a different chord progression here. Let's say maybe F minor. And then bring the third up an octave to have something nice and moody going. Adjust the root note. And then maybe with the second chord go up. And play, what is that? G sharp. And this one octave higher. Yeah, I'm quickly turning these two off. Bit more tension. And then down. And now what would these two do? Maybe it's a bit too much. And then no. Yeah. Or use it differently, you know, and do something like this. Enlarge this chord basically here. And now you have your own thing going. It doesn't really have anything to do with this MIDI song starter anymore, but you kind of got an idea to sort of how to put together a different pattern that you might not have had in mind. And that's kind of the beauty of this. It sort of kicks you out of being stuck sometimes. Or maybe something completely different here. I'm a big fan of these patterns. Now you need more drum grooves around it to sort of fill in the blank, but super nice and moody and sort of you know, elaborate music here. I like this stuff. I don't know about you, but anyways, this is sort of this is by the way, also another thing I forgot, you can also move chords around. You know, if you want to sort of mess around with chord progressions and you feel like, oh, it sounds a bit old, it sounds a bit overused or something, always a good idea is to sort of switch chords around. Let's actually go to some, and maybe we can find one that has a bunch of interesting chords. Let's say we have this one. And what I'm sometimes doing is activating the preview and then just playing around with, how does it sound like if I'm playing the second one first? And then the fourth one. And then. Totally works. So second, fourth, third, first. And then quickly adjust the chord progression to do just that. So do they all have the same pattern? Not exactly. So now you would have to sort of switch it around to have, oh no, sorry, here, and then, and then, and then, and then again, it starts again, and then, and, oh, you can even play this one that way. So, I have to pick it differently, sorry. So playing A only or always on the second one, and then... that was the first one, sorry. Let's do it again. And then... also works, so that's always a nice technique. Flip your chords around and see what sounds nice. Sometimes you will be surprised at what you're getting. And another tip, if you want to collect some interesting ideas, sometimes just play your stuff. And then, let's say, we are playing this part here and we just have our drum loop and our kick going, and now we want to look for ideas. You drag your mouse and look for chord throws. Stuff like that, and then you record that, and sometimes you will get some interesting results here, and then most of the time you will have to quantize it a little bit and adjust it, and then you could also get some interesting chord throws and patterns there. And it also works if you do it in a way where you use them as arpeggios or something. So well, depending on the type of music you're making, obviously. But anyways, this is the end of the presentation part of this video, let's say. And now I'm just going to play a bunch of MIDIs from that pack to sort of audition them, so you can get a better idea if you're interested. And yeah, other than that, I'll hope you enjoyed this one. Check out the MIDI pack. I think I'm using this all the time. I think this is great, a great shortcut, because I've already some cool patterns and I don't have to make everything from scratch, and I can then still sort of take it into a different direction. Anyways, feel free to check out the link in the description to the Infinite Dreams MIDI pack, and I hope to see you again soon. Let's audition some stuff here.